So if you're having a hard time figuring out what workout to do, I thought I would create an entire workout for you that you can do from home with or without equipment. So let's get started. If we're just meeting, my name is Alina Amir and I am a certified personal trainer. You may know me from Instagram at @CoachAlina_, and my goal is to use YouTube and Instagram to help educate and motivate you to get started on your fitness journey and to debunk or just demystify a lot of the workouts and diets and all of the trendy things that are happening, so that you know what you can do to feel better, get fitter. And one of those things is to provide you with free workouts that are step by step, and I just break down the exercise for you, show you how to do them, explain what you should be feeling, how you should be feeling it during the exercise. So let's get started. The first exercise is a jump rope. So if you have a jump rope, I think that they're really great tools to have at home. It's affordable and just really easy to incorporate to get your heart rate up and get your legs, especially your calves, super fired up when you're working out. So I love adding sets of jump ropes in between like weight training and everything like that, especially if I'm at home, because you don't have a lot of ways to increase intensity at home with weights, because you don't have barbells or dumbbells, or if you do, good for you. I don't. So I like using stuff like a jump rope to try and keep my heart rate up while I'm working out, so that I don't lose steam or lose momentum. If you don't have a jump rope, you can totally do the modification. I call them scissor jumps. If you find a different word or a different name that you prefer, go for it, but I call them scissor jumps. And you just basically shuffle your feet back and forth really quickly, and the goal again is to keep your body straight, keep your core tight, and to just get your heart rate up. So whatever you can do for that. Another one that you could do if you don't feel comfortable doing this is a jumping jack. Totally great, because again, gets your heart rate up, incorporates your legs, and also kind of gets your arms in action too. The next exercise is a standing double dumbbell row. A dumbbell row, you don't need to use all those words, but essentially a row. A row is really cool because it works your back, and I think just having a sculpted back, having muscle in your back is just really attractive and super important for posture and all the things. And so it works your biceps too. So essentially, I love this exercise, but it's difficult to do if you don't have weights. So if you have maybe water bottles or soup cans, you can totally do it with that. Or if you don't want to do that, you can actually just do a body weight reverse fly, which will also work the upper muscles in your back. And it looks like it could be really easy, but if you get enough reps in, so I would recommend trying to work your way up to maybe 20 reps or so, because you really do want to feel it in your muscles, especially if you don't have weights to use. You'll feel it in the upper part of your back, kind of behind your shoulders. This next exercise is called a bound jump, and I recently discovered them and I am in love with them. I'm so obsessed with them. You essentially jump forward, like doing a jumping squat forward twice, and then you reverse jog back. And I love this exercise because while you're jumping forward, you're working your quads, you're getting your heart rate up, you're working your glutes and your calves. It's difficult, you're getting a full body experience from it. And then when you're actually jogging back, you're working your hamstrings, because that's the muscle that's kind of activated when you have to jog backwards. So it's a super great all-rounder exercise that I love incorporating. It's also super great for just increasing fitness and athleticism, because it is jumping. There's some coordination involved, especially when you're jogging back. If you don't want to do this the way it is, you can just do normal squats instead, totally fine. You can just do normal jumping squats if you want to do that too. But if you have the space, I definitely recommend trying this, because it is actually super fun when you get the hang of it. This next exercise is a donkey kick. So I'm going to show you how to do it with a dumbbell, which I'm doing first, and then you don't need to use a dumbbell if you don't have one. You can just do it body weight. Donkey kicks, I think it's an awkward name, but I think it's a wonderful exercise. So these target your glutes specifically, and it's a really good burner exercise to just get those muscles really engaged. And also I like them because they're lower impact, so they don't tax your body that much. When I'm structuring a workout, I try and make sure that I alternate between super high taxing and not as taxing exercises, so your body has to just keep adapting. You're not overdoing it too quickly in your workout, and it's just a good way to make sure there's a balance. And donkey kicks allow for just a little bit of a break, because you're not jumping all around, but you will feel it in your arms to hold your body up, in your core to also hold your body up and keep your back straight, and again, definitely your glutes, because that's the main exercise we're targeting. If you don't have a dumbbell, you can also do this with a resistance band, or again, just with body weight. If you're having trouble feeling it, you can increase the number of reps you're doing as well. That's a really great way to challenge yourself when you don't have as much equipment, is to just do more reps, because then you'll fatigue that muscle. Next exercise, I know a lot of you may not have a kettlebell. Kettlebell swing is super great for getting your heart rate up while working your glutes and your arms simultaneously. I love them. But if you don't have a kettlebell, you can actually do this with a dumbbell by holding the top of the dumbbell, or you can just do squats instead and get similar muscles activated during it. If you do have a kettlebell though, please make sure that you're being careful and you practice it super slowly with a lighter weight before you jump right into it, because it is kind of risky. If you're not careful and you're going too hard too fast, you don't want to get hurt. So just be careful and mindful of that. But if you again don't have a weight that you can use for this, you can just do a squat or a jumping squat and you'll still feel it. It'll still be good. Next exercise is a one-legged hip thrust. So I've shown hip thrusts, I've shown glute bridges. This is another way to just target your glutes specifically. As a disclaimer, I always try and incorporate at least 1 or 2 exercises specifically for your glutes in all of my full body workouts. It's a really important muscle to work because it is the strongest muscle in your body potentially. It can help you with posture, it can help you with speed, it can help you with form when you're doing other exercises. Like my squats got so much better when I started focusing more on trying to make sure my glutes were just as strong as my quads, and just generally they're really important. And a lot of exercises, it's just really easy to focus on your quads or your calves, so I try and make sure there's a balance. A one-legged hip thrust is a way to just do that again. So I like this a lot because it is challenging. If you don't have weight and doing a hip thrust is a little too easy for you, this is a great way to challenge yourself. Also, by doing it one-legged, you're helping figure out if you're in balance, if one leg is stronger than the other. So you'll actually work on improving that as well, which again, I think is super important. You can do this with or without a weight. Sometimes I do it with, sometimes I do it without, depending on how sore I am. So that's another really great part of this exercise. The next exercise is a hand release push-up. So I have fallen in love with this exercise because it's just an easier way to get yourself to do push-ups. So push-ups are difficult. We all know that, and a big part of that reason is because you are constantly keeping your body up. But in a hand release push-up, you actually get a small little break because you go all the way down, your chest touches the ground, and then you push yourself up. It's still really difficult. You'll still feel it in your chest and your shoulders and your triceps, but it's a really great way to work your way up to a push-up without feeling discouraged. You can do them from your knees, or you can do it like the full way, full body way from your toes, whatever you're comfortable with based on your level. Just keep trying to do more. Pro tip, make sure that your eye level and your head is in line with your back, so you're not looking up or looking to the side or anything like that. Just to keep your back safe, keep you from getting injured, keep your eye level towards the ground when you're doing these. Again, I really love them, but try modification if this is too difficult for you, but you'll definitely feel a lot stronger as you keep doing it. This next exercise is a back extension with a scapular retraction. So basically, I love working my lower back because it's helped me a lot with improving my posture and everything like that. So that's why I do extensions like this. Adding that upper body movement to it will actually just activate more of your upper back and your lat muscles, which I think is really cool because it's hard to work your back sometimes when you're at home without any equipment. So this is a great way to try and do that without having to buy a pull-up bar or anything like that. When you're bringing your arms towards you, just make sure you're really squeezing your lat muscles, because that'll just make sure that you're in the right place. And it actually is really encouraging to know that when you are doing an exercise, you feel it in the right muscles. So definitely focus on that. It's called mind-muscle connection, and it's helped me a lot. So when you're doing this exercise, again, please make sure that your eyes and head are in line with your back and you're not looking up or anything fancy like that, because you will potentially hurt yourself. Last exercise is a leg raise, and you can alternatively do reverse crunches. But a leg raise or a reverse crunch, both are really great for working your lower abs, and I think that's just really important. Who doesn't want to work their lower abs? Leg raises are a little bit more difficult with your legs straight, just because it's just having to lift more at a greater distance. I think it has to do with physics, I'm pretty sure. And reverse crunches are a little bit easier. So if you are uncomfortable doing a leg raise, just do the reverse crunch. Feel a little bit of an awkwardness in your back or anything like that, I like to put my hands in a triangle like this behind my back while I'm doing the exercise, and that actually helps me a lot with it. Or you can put a towel or something else there too. Alright, so the next exercise is a side raise to a bicep curl. So I'm using dumbbells for this. Again, you can use water bottles or soup cans or whatever you have lying around the house. I like this because you're just working two muscles back to back, and it just is really challenging and kind of fun to do, and you work on your coordination. So a lot of good things. I always recommend using a weight that you can do the shoulder raise on, because for a lot of people this movement is very difficult because this muscle is a lot weaker or a lot smaller. So choose a weight based on that, and I'm doing a hammer curl, not a typical bicep curl. So a hammer curl is when your hands are facing each other and your palms are not up, and that is because I wanted to work more of my forearm and just a different part of my bicep. You can do either one, whichever you prefer. And if you don't have weights and you don't want to use weights, then you can just do a side raise with a hold. So what I'm just doing is for each rep, I'm keeping one arm up and I'm just doing the exercise with the other arm. That adds a little bit more tension, adds a little bit more difficulty without having to use weight. But you can also use weight if you have it. I do recommend trying if you can, just because you'll get stronger and faster. And side raises are really cool in my opinion because they work your shoulder, but they work the side muscle of your shoulders, like right here, and that kind of gives that cool cap look, so your arms actually end up looking more defined if you do have that muscle developed. And that's the entire workout. Thank you so much for watching. If this helped you at all, if you got any ideas for a workout, or if you're gonna try this, let me know in the comments below, and please consider liking and or subscribing if you like the video, just because it helps me out a lot. So thank you so much again, and you can always follow me at Alina_. I'm super responsive on there. I'd love to talk to you about all things fitness and exercise, so definitely check it out. And I also post workouts a lot there too. So I hope to see you there, and yeah, I can't wait until the next video. Bye.